that took a million times. Jim, right over there on the couch. That is your spot. Just grab that microphone if you like. Have a seat, relax.
When I love you right back. Oh, wow, nice place you got here.
Well, we tried.
Thanks for inviting me out.
Well, you know, the beige was the last minute decision.
The which one?
The beige was the last minute decision. It was orange. No, it wasn't. Jim, how are you?
Very good. Nice place you got here. Glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you here in Roanoke, Big Lick, Star City, if you will. Jim, why don't you just go ahead and tell us just a little bit about why we decided to bring you here.
Well, when I was born, I was very young. No, I haven't the vaguest notion. It's probably because I used to be a deckhand on the riverboat. And you don't get many deckhands up here, so I'm proud to be the first.
No, that's...
It might have something to do with a lot of cartoons and movies, though.
Yeah.
Do we have any cartoon fans out there? Any movie fans? That's the kind of question you just want people to clap for. I just want to see if you can clap, that's all.
Now, what came first? Winnie the Pooh or all the other Disney stuff?
Well, Pooh was very early. The first thing I ever did was for Disney Channel, and that was Dumbo's Circus. That's an oldie. And yeah, I was Lionel the Lion. And it was kind of like Timothy from Dumbo, but you know, you couldn't have like a 5-foot mouse, so they made him a lion. And so that was fun. And then, gosh, a couple of years right after that, they were auditioning to do the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and everybody and their dog, you know, auditioned. And I thought I was okay as Pooh. And I felt really good about Eeyore. You know, I thought thanks for $1. You know, but I thought it was okay. And so a couple of weeks later, my agent calls me up. She says, "Well, I have bad news. You didn't get the part you wanted." And I said, "Oh, jeez." I thought, really? She goes, "But they did give you a consolation prize. So I'm not Eeyore?" She goes, "No. However, you are Winnie the Pooh and Tigger." And I went, "Oh, well, never mind. That'll work." But it was funny because at the time, the late great Paul Winchell, he was the original Tigger, and he was going back and forth to Africa to cure hunger. This is back in the 80s, and by Africa, there was a terrible famine over there, and he had a great idea to raise little mud puppies, you know, little mud skimmers, whatever you want to call them. And they're not much to look at, but apparently they're nutritious, and you can raise them in dirt. So he was trying to cure, you know, he's Tigger, Knucklehead Smith, and, you know, curing hunger. It's an obvious career choice, you know, so he would go back and forth to Africa, and I was Tigger Light while he was in Africa. So I ended up, you know, of course, when he retired, God bless him, he passed on. Now you're stuck with me, so both of them.
Now, did he personally teach you the Tigger song, or is that something you had to pick up on your own?
Yeah, I had to pick it up on my own, but he was very, very gracious. And, you know, when he became quite ill toward the end of his life, he said, you know, and it's funny because, bless his heart, he used to sound like Tigger when he talked, you know. And he'd say, "I want you to take care of my little buddy for me." And I went, "Oh." So, here I am.
Now, the Winnie the Pooh, that's such a huge, huge impact. Practically everybody knows the Winnie the Pooh characters. It's kind of like the Charlie Brown characters. Everybody just knows those characters. What's it like to be involved with something that is so well known?
Well, it's a lot of fun. You know, it gets you a good seated restaurant, I guess. You know. Well, whatever, I'll take whatever perks come along. But yeah, it works. I guess I can take this off, right? No radiation coming down from the ceiling. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like an honor, you know.
Now, was that the launching board into the voice work for Disney?
Well, the first job was Dumbo's Circus, and that was for Disney Channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you know, when I was a little kid, I always wanted to do that. I mean, you know, a great many of them weren't around when I was a little kid, but you know, like Darkwing, he wasn't quite invented yet. But I always wanted to do this, and it was the kind of stuff I used to jokingly say would get me kicked out of class. then I did it well enough that they paid me. So now the joke's on Sister Mary Agnes, you know, because I'd be sitting there doing dolphin noises. We don't have dolphins here at St. Columba, Mr. Cummings. But they did when I was there.
Now, if you have a question for Jim, the microphone is right there. By all means,
Oh yes.
feel free to
Feel
come up with
free.
your questions, because you're there, your question's going to be so much better than mine, I promise you. And there he is, first question.
Hello. Oh, somebody better turn on his mic.
What was it like working with Peter
Oh,
Cullen?
there we go. Say it again, pal.
What was it like working with Peter Cullen?
What? I can't hear you. What was it like for?
What was it like working with Peter Cullen?
Oh, Peter Cullen. Oh, he's great. Yeah, he's one of the first guys I met in the business. He's an awesome guy. He's an amazing man. He's a heck of a nice guy too. And you know, and he kind of sounds like Eeyore when he talks. Yeah, that's just his voice. He's a heck of a great guy. I'll tell him you said hello. And before we go on, how about this great Addison Darkwing Duck lady right here? Is she amazing? I mean, she is dos mucho, which is French for awesome. Hi, sweetie. Good to see you again. It's been so long, gosh. And yes, miss.
I just have a really quick request. Can you just say one sentence as Don Carnage, please?
I'm sorry, I can't do this. I don't even think I could. You drive me too crazy. Why are you asking me these tough questions? Son of the gun. Are you a friend of Baloo? I just knew it. Don't forget to remember, you can leave a small donation if you wish.
My pleasure. He's one of my favorite guys. I have a lot of fun with villains. I like doing villains as much as good guys.
Now, Jim, you mentioned just a moment ago, dolphins in class.
Oh yes.
Okay, so how do you go from dolphins in class to the voiceover for the Disney thing and Winnie the Pooh? Was there radio or any other kind of thing that put you out there, or is it just
No.
you're keen on voices?
Well, you know, I've been a singer my whole life, and a lot of singers don't act, and a lot of actors don't sing, and I can't do either, so they let me do both. So it worked out really well. But no, I was always a singer in a band, and I'm used to microphones, you know, and I was in speech tournaments as a kid, and I was just really annoying to be around. Always shut up and just play cards, you know. It's like, no, I don't want to hear Donald Duck ordering pizza or, you know, whatever. So it was just, I turned Monkey Hour into a career.
Oh, I had to go through radio. We have another question.
I just wanted to ask, what's your favorite line you've ever said as a character? Also, I think my favorite thing you've done is when you play Rasputin's voice, singing voice in Anastasia.
Oh yeah, well that, you know, singing is probably the most fun part of my job, because I sure do. I joke around. My friend Jess Arnell, you know the great Jess Arnell, Animaniacs. You know him, you love him, you can't live without him. He's Dos Mucho, and he and I enjoy that a lot. And anytime you can sing in character, that's just it combines all the things I like, you know, acting and music together. And it's a funny story. Christopher Lloyd, he's a real nice guy. He was Rasputin in the movie, but he doesn't sing. So, and it was funny because we're in there, and you know, I got done doing the song, and we did like a whole mess of takes, and they put them all together, and they're playing it back, and Christopher said, "Wow, I sound pretty good." You know, so I thought, there you go, a little perk there. You know.
Now, for the voiceover part of it, I don't know how many people may know this. Just to clarify, which comes first in a voiceover animation? Is it the voice or the animation?
No, it's the voice, you know, because if you think about it, they couldn't, you know, they wouldn't know what to animate. There wouldn't be anything to animate. It would all be just pure imagination, and you'd never know, like, you know, that's, you know, you get a little music to it, and, you know, if somebody's falling off a cliff, you want to be able to envision it in your head. And then when you hear it, you can draw what you heard, if you think about it.